Hello everybody, welcome back to this episode of the Lawnmower Detective. Today we're going to be doing the oil change on my personal Aaron's mower with the Kawasaki FR691V, and the good folks at Hipa reached out to me and sent me some products. So here they are. So we're going to be using these Hipa products on my personal machine today, so stay tuned. All right, this is by far the easiest part of this. You just lift that bad boy up there, undo that clamp, pull up, get that air filter out of there. Now there's some junk in there I'm going to clean out before I put that back in. Stand by for just 1 second. Don't want to get that in that intake tube, that would be bad. There's just some debris left over from fall, which is pretty typical. So it's just a handful of leaves and stuff. Okay, so then we just take the new Hipa air filter, get it in that intake tube, get it right in there, tighten that clamp up, and close that up. Now we'll get on to the fuel filter. Okay everybody, so now we're going to go ahead and do the fuel filter. As you can see, this is the Hipa replacement. So it's good to go. The arrow is pointing this direction. So we're going to start by clamping off our fuel. We don't want nothing to run around here. Now some of the fuel is going to come out. There's no question about that. So just have yourself a rag ready. I'm going to lose a little bit of fuel, but that's all right. So then we just have to crimp and slide the clamp out of the way in both directions, like so. Let me get my gloves on real quick. Yeah, so the folks over at Hipa were nice enough to send me these products, and it's been a while, but I apologize for the length of time it's taken me to shoot this video, but it's been a little busy. So then just grab and twist these fuel lines. If you don't have some of these fuel line pliers, man, you got to get some. They're awesome. Harbor Freight. Well, that dude's on there. Oh, there we go. That thing did not want to come off. So like I said, we're going to lose a little fuel. There's going to be a little fuel come out of that fuel filter. And that's all right. I won't tell if you won't tell. And then you can just grab the hose and the filter like this and twist it out like that. And grab your new one, make sure it's in the same orientation with the fuel coming from the tank out this way. I don't know if you can see it, but there's an arrow pointing this direction. There's that side. And then here's this side. Then we can take our pliers and put our clamps back on. Like so. And here's the other one. Like that. Undo our fuel clamp. Take our old fuel filter and our rag out of the way. The reason I like to put that on this particular machine, I like to put that rag down there whenever I change the fuel filter, because the solenoid is literally right below it, the starter solenoid. And I don't want to take any chances of getting fuel on that and there being a spark or something when you go to fire it up. So, but we'll crank this a few times and get some fuel in that filter real quick. Hold your ears. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is do the oil change. So I'm going to get the door open and let this run for about 5 minutes so we can get the oil heated up real good, and we'll move on from there. Stay tuned. Okay, we're going to get this oil out of here. It's been running for about 5 minutes, and I don't bother with that drain tube down there anymore. That oil filter makes enough mess trying to get it off of there without getting oil everywhere. So I now use this fancy schmancy oil sucker. Oh, it's not too bad. A little black, but it's not too bad. So just get that down in there. Now this thing holds about 2.1 quarts. And I've put a red line on this reservoir here, just so I can get an idea as to how much I'm taking out of here. Pretty good amount so far. This thing works really good. I love it. You can put your shop air on here too if you want to, and just use this valve right there. But it doesn't take much to pump it up a few times and let it do its thing. I don't know if you all can see that going up, but this is where we started, and this is where we're at now. You'll know when you're done. I mean, this all kinds of air will start coming through this hose and a bunch of bubbles. That sounded like a little piggy. Crispy bacon. Yeah, we're getting down to the bottom of it now. That hose is starting to tremble from the air bubbles. I think we are just about finito. I believe that's got her, gang. Wipe your tube off when you pull it out, because she's going to drip a little bit. I like to hold it up and suck some of that extra stuff down through that tube. I tell you what, that thing sure does come in handy. I was hooked on these things whenever I saw Rusty Rooster built his own, and I was like, oh Lord, what do I got to do to get a fella to make me one of those? And Rusty, being the busy gentleman that he is, and didn't have time, so I just went ahead and bought this one. Okay, so we're going to work on getting this oil filter off of here, and that is without a doubt the messiest part of this whole thing. So I'm not going to make you watch my head while I'm doing that, so I'm going to get that oil filter off there, and I'll bring you back when I get it off. Okay, everybody. Got that new Hipa oil filter on there. And now we're going to fill this bad girl up with some genuine Kawasaki K-Tech SAE 30, which I like to use. Manufacturer says that this thing takes 2.1 quarts. So we'll just go ahead and get this in here. It's a little cold, so we'll just give it a few glurps. Shout out to Bruce for the glurps. So yes, Hipa, thank you so much for this. And again, I apologize for it taking so long. What with my newfound schedule and responsibilities, it's been a little tough to get out here. So that's one. Get this second one in here, and we'll let that get in there, and we'll fire it up and get some in that oil filter, and then we'll get her checked out and see what our level is. Last time I did this, it was almost right on. So, you know, this couldn't come at a better time, because we haven't had that harsh of a winter around here, and I've got some machines coming in this afternoon and possibly a couple more next week, and it's probably best, I don't know how you guys do it, but I like to get my my personal stuff serviced and out of the way to, you know, before other people's stuff starts coming in, and then I don't have time sometimes to take care of my own stuff. I don't know how you all do it, but that's how I like to do it. It's almost a necessity sometimes. All right. Oh, that took all of that. No question about that. So we'll just lay this out of the way here. Put our dipstick tube back in. Get this stuff out of the way. And when you go to check your oil, ladies and gentlemen, use a relatively clean rag, because you don't want to introduce any type of debris or anything through the dipstick tube there, or on the dipstick itself. You don't want to introduce a bunch of sand or dirt or anything like that. So get the key out. I don't know if you guys take the key out when you're servicing your machine, but around here there's not much chance of somebody firing it up because I'm out here by myself. But when there's no oil in a machine, I don't want to take a chance to myself firing it up by accident and forgetting there's no oil in it. So I always take the key out and put it in the cup holder or my pocket, so there's no chance of it getting fired up until there's actual oil in it. So we'll let this run for a few minutes. All right, gang. I let it run for just a few minutes to distribute that oil through the oil filter, and now we'll see where our level is. Now this particular Kawasaki, you don't thread this back in to check it. It says right here on the stick. So you just lay it on there, pull it out, and it is literally right on the full. So there you have it. So Hipa, thank you very much for the products for this oil change and this service. Thank you for the fuel filter, thank you for the air filter, and thank you for the oil filter. And I just wanted to let you know I appreciate you. You know, unbeknownst to me, over the last few years, I've been ordering stuff off of Amazon, and the majority of the stuff I do order was Hipa. So I'm already a fan, so thank you, Hipa. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. And before I leave, I just want to cover one more thing with you. Do not, please don't forget to check your oil before you even fire up your machine. I paid the price for not doing that last year. I had to do a engine rebuild. I had to put new rings in this particular machine because I didn't check my oil, unfortunately. Yeah, us mower guys know the same thing. You know, we make mistakes too. So I had to put new rings and all kinds of stuff in that machine because my oil consumption went crazy. Mainly because I didn't check my oil on a regular enough basis. And I ran it low several times, and luckily I did not have to, you know, do any head work or anything like that, or cylinder work. So I did get lucky. So don't forget, check your oil before you even fire it up, and have a great day. Don't forget, it's donut time.
It has been a pleasure having you all here. Please don't forget to give this video a like, and please subscribe. Last but not least, click the notification bell so you will know when new videos are posted. Thanks to all of you for your support.